Welcome. Come with me and discover all of my transformations.
Garnold in Phase 1 is always smiling under his big shiny helmet. He loves telling silly jokes that make his friends laugh so hard they almost fall over. Sometimes he pretends his visor is a TV screen and shows funny channels by making goofy faces. Garnold enjoys dancing in circles, spinning like a top until he gets dizzy. When he feels happy, he waves his arms around like he's conducting an invisible orchestra. His favorite game is pretending to be a robot that serves ice cream to everyone. No matter where he goes, Garnold spreads joy like sunshine on a summer day. Five-second challenge. Can you like and subscribe in just 5 seconds? Go! If you did it, write "Doan" in the comments. Garnold in Phase 1.5 looks nervous, with a drop of light sliding down his shiny helmet. He hears quiet whispers in the corners, though no one seems to be there. His visor reflects shadows that move on their own, like playful but spooky shapes. Sometimes he talks to them, asking silly questions, but the shadows never answer. He spends his evenings walking slowly through empty halls, listening to the echo of his steps. Even though he feels uneasy, Garnold tries to cheer himself up with small jokes. Deep inside, he wonders if the strange voices could one day become his friends. Garnold in Phase 2 walks slowly, his visor cracked with a strange glowing mark. When he smiles, the light inside flickers like a broken lamp. He no longer hears whispers, now it is laughter echoing from the darkness. Every step he takes leaves behind a faint metallic echo, as if the floor remembers him. Sometimes he freezes, staring into the void, as though something is staring back. His friends avoid playing with him, but Garnold still waves at empty corners cheerfully. Deep down, he believes the shadows are just waiting for him to join their games. Garnold in Phase 3 stares with wide, glowing eyes that never seem to blink. His broken visor reflects strange symbols that appear and vanish like smoke. When he laughs, the sound is too loud, echoing like 100 voices at once. He often wanders through dark corridors, tapping the walls as if searching for hidden doors. Sometimes he hums a strange tune that no one recognizes, yet it feels oddly familiar. Children whisper that Garnold's shadow moves differently, twisting when he stands still. Deep inside, Garnold feels both excited and terrified by the games the darkness offers. Wenda and Gray in Phase 3 walk across the hot golden desert, amazed by the giant pyramids. Wenda wears a shiny pharaoh crown, while Gray wraps himself in a clumsy mummy costume made of scarves. They ride on a camel that looks just as confused as Gray, bouncing up and down with every step. At the market, Wenda tries sweet dates, while Gray buys a toy scarab and pretends it's magical. They laugh as they take selfies with the Sphinx, but Gray's headpiece keeps falling into the sand. Wenda tries to read old hieroglyphs on a wall, inventing funny translations that make Gray giggle. By sunset, they watch the desert glow in orange light, feeling like true adventurers of Egypt. Garnold in Phase 4 stands frozen, his wide red eyes glowing like warning signals. His smile stretches too wide, glowing faintly with shifting lines of red. The air around him feels heavy, as if even the shadows are holding their breath. When he moves, the sound is like rusted metal scraping slowly in the dark. He no longer speaks, only lets out a low hum that vibrates through the walls. Friends say that when you stare into his visor too long, you see your own reflection twist. Inside, Garnold feels as though he is no longer himself, but something much older and darker. Wenda And Gray, in Phase 4, explore China, amazed by the long Great Wall stretching over the hills. Wenda wears a red dress with golden dragons, while Gray tries on a silk kung fu outfit that's a bit too big for him. They laugh as they wave colorful paper fans, pretending to battle like ancient warriors. At a lantern festival, they help light glowing red lanterns and watch them float high into the night sky. Gray tries to eat dumplings with chopsticks but drops them, and Wenda quickly shows him how to do it right. They cheer at a dragon dance parade, clapping along with the loud drums. By evening, they sip warm tea together, feeling the calm beauty of China's traditions. Garnold in Phase 5 stands beneath a glowing red circle, as if the sky itself watches him. His cracked visor shows an endless spiral, pulling eyes deeper the longer you stare. Every breath he takes comes out as a hiss, shaking the silence like a broken machine. Around him, invisible spikes seem to pierce the air, making the space feel dangerous. When Garnold smiles now, it feels less like joy and more like a warning. Even shadows bend away from him, as though they know his power has grown. Inside, he feels unstoppable, a guardian of the nightmare that no one dares to challenge. Garnold in Phase 5.5 sways under invisible pressure, his visor glowing with restless lines. His eyes shift unevenly, as though they are caught in a loop of endless watching. The spikes around him twitch and pulse like they are alive and growing from the shadows. Every step he takes echoes with a metallic rattle, as if the ground is breaking beneath him. He whispers words that sound like static, full of strange pauses and glitches. Sometimes he lifts his head and laughs, but the sound cuts off suddenly, like a broken record. Inside, Garnold feels as though he is no longer in the world. The world is now inside him. Garnold in Phase 6 wears a smile too wide, filled with endless shining lines of light. His visor shows a hollow circle, like a single eye watching everything at once. Every time he grins, the air vibrates with a low growl, impossible to ignore. He doesn't walk anymore, he glides slowly, as if the ground moves beneath him. Strange humming follows him, a sound that makes walls shiver and lights flicker. Friends whisper that Garnold's laughter no longer belongs to him, but to something inside him. Deep down, he feels proud, as though he has finally become the voice of the darkness. Garnold in Phase 7 grins wider, his endless lines of light flickering faintly in the dark. His visor flickers with strange shapes, like symbols no one can understand. Wherever he appears, the air grows heavy, making it hard to breathe. People nearby feel a chill crawl up their backs, even if they can't see him. Sometimes he whispers names he should not know, and the sound lingers in the air. Shadows stretch unnaturally long when he passes, as though trying to follow him. Inside, Garnold enjoys the fear he brings, believing it means he finally matters. Garnold in Phase 8 is nothing but a towering eye, wide and unblinking, staring into everything. The pupil twists unnaturally, as if it searches through memories that are not its own. Everywhere he looks, the world bends, and walls groan like they are alive. When he breathes, it sounds like the rustling of thousands of wings in the dark. No one dares to meet his gaze for long, afraid of being pulled into the red abyss. Shadows scatter away from him now, leaving him in a circle of endless silence. Inside, Garnold feels powerful but lonely, as if his new form has stolen all his friends. Garnold in Phase 9 wears a visor painted in dripping red, glowing like a cursed screen. Strange, horn-like shapes rise from his head, making his silhouette look monstrous. His body is marked with countless shifting faces, frozen in silent echoes. Every step he takes echoes like 1,000 whispers overlapping in the dark. When he smiles, bright lines shine too sharply, cutting through the shadows like blades. The air around him feels twisted, as if time itself slows whenever he appears. Inside, Garnold feels triumphant, as though he has finally become the nightmare everyone feared. Garnold in Phase 10 tilts his head unnaturally, revealing a glowing crown of twisted shapes. Dark spikes surround it, pulsing like restless shadows alive with energy. His visor hangs broken, spilling strange colors that never touch the ground. Every laugh he makes echoes like shattered mirrors falling endlessly. Even silence bends around him, heavy with the weight of his presence. Those who look too long feel their own thoughts ripple, as if Garnold is listening in. Inside, he feels limitless, no longer just a figure, but a nightmare made real. Garnold in Phase 11 stands with an empty visor, darker than any shadow. His smile stretches too wide, glowing with endless metallic lines of light. Inside his hollow chest, glowing shapes shift and flicker like restless lanterns. Every sound near him fades, as if the world itself is holding its breath. Sometimes he tilts his head and clicks his teeth together, echoing like broken chains. The floor beneath him hums quietly, vibrating with his strange presence. Inside, Garnold feels calm, yet the calmness is scarier than any scream. Garnold in Phase 12 tilts at an impossible angle, his cracked visor glowing with a cold blue light. A long rod sticks out behind him, making him look like a puppet left on display. His movements are stiff and uneven, as if someone pulls invisible strings. When he sways, the air hums strangely, like wires vibrating in the darkness. The red marks on his form trail slowly, but they vanish before reaching the ground. Sometimes he creaks with a metallic sound, like an old gate opening to nowhere. Inside, Garnold feels hollow, but that hollowness makes him more unsettling than ever. Garnold in Phase 13 bristles with wild spikes, his whole form shaking with restless energy. His visor is almost completely black, hiding any trace of what he once was. Two massive openings shift and clash, filled with glowing crystal-like shapes. Every snap echoes like a storm rolling through an empty cavern. His body seems woven from shadows, dripping with a strange, flickering light. The ground beneath him hums and quivers, as if it doesn't want to hold him anymore. Inside, Garnold feels like a living storm, a force of chaos that refuses to fade. Who is this character? Write your answer in the comments and don't forget to like the video. Thanks for watching.